And we are live.
Perfect timing. The door's going off just because the pizza just showed up, but
Nice.
so my dog's going bananas.
That's great.
Well, killer. My name's Ace. I play drums in Court Order, Brooklyn-based metal hardcore band. Yeah, really excited to be here with you today.
Thank you. So how did you get the name?
The band name?
The band name, yeah.
The band name. So Court Order, in another life, I'm a banker. I've spent a lot of time standing in an office getting subpoenaed and probably faxed in thousands of subpoenas. And I've seen the word court order probably, just as many times. And, at the time, me and the guitar player were just jamming, having a good time. And then we started to get shows offered to us. And, that was the name that I pitched just because I'd seen it so many times, just being served endlessly throughout work every day. And then, it sounded great. We thought it was dope, started printing merch. And then over time, it just kind of became something much more than that. Now we look at the band name as really just a mandate to doing the thing that we know we have to do, right? So it's a calling. It's something that we focus on. And over time, it's going to become something much bigger than just, me getting served 1,000 times a day. So
where is all your band members from?
Sorry, my wife's dancing in the kitchen because the pizza just got here. All over, man. I mean, right now, me and Oscar, the bass player, are in Queens, and JJ, our singer, was in Spotswood, and he moved somewhere a little bit further away from that in Jersey. JD, lead guitars, is in Oxford, and Nick just recently joined the band in August, and he's in Jersey as well, probably about 20 minutes out from Jersey City. So 3/5 of the band are now in New Jersey, and 2 of us live in Queens, New York.
So I'm going to start with a deep question here. What would you like to leave as your legacy?
The legacy as a band?
Band, yourself in general?
Oh, cool. So positive energy, man. I mean, I think that's what we need more of. Me personally, I'm an avid writer. I've been playing the drums for 20 plus years. And I think just to have a chapter out there in the book of aggressive music, and to have my poetry written out there in our tunes, and leave that behind, and to have folks know who it is and or what it is and know the words is really what I'd like to leave behind. I mean, in the end, we all just kind of wither, right? And we get buried or cremated or tossed out into ash. But I think just to have a chapter and in that creative medium, to me, is would be my biggest lasting impression.
So if you weren't playing drums and not being what would you be doing?
If I wasn't playing drums, what would I be doing? I love to write, man. In another life, I'm an author. I've published 4 books. That's something that I've always just done naturally. And it started writing lyrics in bands. I'm a creative writing major, and something that I just love to do. And so, I mean, if I could make that be lucrative, that's probably what I would do. I mean, I do freelance writing, copy editing, and that kind of stuff just for sport. But probably if I could make money off of anything that wasn't playing the drums or like a day job, then probably focus on my writing.
Who got you into drumming?
Who got me into drumming? So I have been playing since I was 11. So, I mean, over 20 years I've been behind the kit. And I had a neighbor that lived across the street from me that kind of introduced me into like American metal in the mid 90s, and listened to that. He's really the one that got me into like the classics: Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, Pantera. And then from there, I remember my first introduction to hardcore was on the Ozfest Live CD. I don't know if you know the one where like Ozzy has the hologram. It's the
Yes,
Ozfest '96.
I have that
Yeah,
somewhere.
so so it has Slayer and Fear Factory on it, and it also has Earth Crisis and Biohazard, and that was the first time that I ever really heard hardcore. Um, so that kind of got me. I was playing the bass at the time. I bought a bass with my bar mitzvah money when I was 12, and my brother played guitar. And we never really like you can't really start a band bass player and guitar player, but he bought a drum set also, and he'd be jamming riffs in the room next to me, and I would get on the kit. We'd start doing like Pantera covers, and at the time there was these new metal bands like Reveille, Kilgore, and those were the bands that we were doing their covers. And then that's it, just one thing to another, and I kind of got stuck back there. And I was in bands all throughout high school and in college, playing with other hardcore bands and stuff. And then, when I moved to New York, pieced another band on Life, didn't really do much with that, and then got Court Order together around 17, and about 19 we released their first single. So that's kind of a long story to answer your question there, but kind of got stuck behind the kit, just starting to jam with my brother as a kid.
If you could pick your own bill, who would you want on it?
So if I could pick my own bill, can they be dead?
Yes, they could be dead.
Okay, so I'd love to see Typo Negative again, for sure. I mean, I saw them in the early 2000s. I really wish Peter Steele was still performing. That's definitely a band that I would love to see headlining festivals today. Unfortunately, I also never got an opportunity to see Motorhead. I was going to download 16 when they were on and let me pass just before.
Yeah.
So probably to have Motorhead open up the night, and then have Typo Negative, and then probably Rammstein closing out that headline bill. So have Typo sandwiched right in the middle. I think that's a good 3-band bill. Any more than that, and I'm already staring out the window, ready to go home. So I think 3 big bands is probably just enough.
What was the first CD you ever bought or was given?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, first CD ever bought. Simpsons Sing the Blues. I don't know if you were expecting a heavier answer than that, but if you're talking about the first CD, definitely Simpsons Sing the Blues. You know the one, Bartman's first track.
Yeah.
So I think after that, I got Michael Jackson's History, and then I had a Columbia House membership as a kid, like when they would send you that 12 CDs for a penny. So I did that for years. I would get my friends to sign up for it, and I would always buy anything, whatever they sent me, I kept. And I would just clean out the catalogs, like all the Metallicas, all the Megadeths, all the Slayers, and then anything that they had that was like in the metal section, because you had to clean out that subscription. So some of it was garbage, but definitely
Good band,
got into it. For sure. Yeah, totally.
I do have a fan question here. I'm trying to find it. Sorry.
That's cool. Yeah, no worries, man. I saw this thing the other day, and it came up as a post, and it was like, by the way, you still owe Columbia House.
Yep.
From 1985 for those 30 cassettes they sent you.
All right. Well, now I can't find it, but do you remember?
Man.
Do you remember Celebrity Deathmatch?
Yeah, 100%, definitely.
Who would you want to go in the ring with?
Who would I want to go in the ring with on Celebrity Deathmatch?
Yeah.
Penn and Teller.
Really?
I'd turn them against each other, and then I'd put an end to it.
That's interesting. So I'm guessing they're not your favorite people.
No, I don't really understand it. I think, are they still even performing out in Vegas?
I have no idea.
Yeah, man. Teller's 73 years old. They're still out there.
They're still out there.
Yeah. Yeah. No. That's what I would do. Take them both out. Slice them in
So,
half with the card toss.
so what is going on with court order at this moment?
Oh man, so super busy. So we just finished a string of about 10 shows that we started in July. We had a little mini tour in October, which was really rad. Just trying to get back out of the house again and staying as busy as possible. I think initially we started, to see that shows were happening again in July. We really wanted to be a part of it. Things were a little weary then, and now obviously, things have come a really, really long way in a very short amount of time. So we just played Broken Land Festival this weekend with Body Snatcher, Mouth for War, Boundaries, Left to Suffer. It was a killer day. And we're putting the finishing touches on the album. So, we started working on this record about a year and a half ago. We tracked the demos last December. We recorded everything over the summer. Now it's getting mixed and mastered, and we're probably in the second round of reviewing those masters. We filmed a video in August for it. We're getting a few more visuals done. And then, we're trying to work out on where and how to distribute it and where it's going to be released. But looking forward to that coming out. I mean, that's something that we've been working on for a year and a half. It's been an arduous process. So there's that. And then we got a few more shows to finish out the year. Got one off in November with Falsifier. And then we're doing a small run with our friends in War Criminal from Maine in the second week of December. So trying to stay active with the shows and get back out there. And we're trying to play some new markets. We recently played Richmond for the first time. We're looking forward to make it down to Florida in the new year. We're trying to get on book some time in Cleveland. We have friends out there in Last Gasp that we're trying to play with. So, just trying to get out into new markets and continue to spread the word.
So what is your favorite song to play, and what is your least favorite song to play live?
That's a good question. So lately we've been playing some new stuff. We've been playing a song, Always Glory, that I love. I mean, that's probably the freshest thing that we've been playing just because we haven't played it as much and it's unreleased. Also Cloud Chase, another one. We've been playing that one since we came back in July. So definitely love to play the two new ones. My least favorite track to play live. I mean, we kind of knocked them out of the set. But I think we played Judge Me to Death. We probably kind of started to work that way out of the set. And folks still seem to want us to play Hit Harder. We get that asked a lot. Hit Harder. It's a song that features Miles Anderson from Injured Cold. And that's probably every time we get asked to play that, we're kind of, the eyes roll, but that's still one of those songs that seems to get a reaction. But we haven't played that one since we started playing back again in 21. But to be honest with you, there isn't a court order song that I don't enjoy playing. I mean, I think all of them we were written with kind of, the live performance in mind, and just making sure that we don't, there isn't a song that I play on the drums that I don't like to play. But if it would be any song, I think just to get the buy-in from the band, it's probably Hit Harder.
That's one of your amazing songs, though.
Yeah, listen, hey, I dig it. Right? But I think it was the first song. It's one of our first songs that we ever wrote, so we've played it so many times.
I get it.
So that's kind of the gist, right? And also too, No, I mean, I just think you get to a point where you play the same song so many times, you want to incorporate the fresh
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, it always gets a reaction too. So that's what I'm saying. Like I love all the songs that we put together. Each one of them have kind of their own little special place in my heart. But um, I I think more so whenever we talk about the set, uh, we kind of decide how to make it flow. Now we've been playing the same kind of something consistent and incorporating some of the new stuff. But whenever we talk about it, I always throw out "Hit Harder," and it's always like, this, throwing the vegetables at me. So I try to minimize the amount of tension that I have with the guys. So if it's incorporating different songs into the set, then you know I have no problem pushing past that.
Is there anybody that you want to feature with?
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking a lot about that, and especially on the new record, but it just didn't work out for this one. We work with Eduardo Ruiz a lot. He's a great photographer and also the lead singer for Refinement. We tried to get him on a track. We were looking to incorporate uh, Peter from Kananashi, but just didn't work out with the way that the schedules were aligning. I think what happened was we were in the studio, and then all of a sudden things just like opened up, and folks were already on the road, and this kind of schedule started to fill up like really quick. So if you didn't get on something, there was a ton of conflicts. Yeah, I mean, those are just two friends of the band that we were interested in having. Love to have CJ from Die Hard on the track. That'd be really dope. Frankie from Amur. Now with featured X, you can always get in with folks, but there's like such a cost associated with that I think, as the band continues to grow, we hope those kinds of things just kind of grow, occur a little bit more organically.
So what's been your favorite show you've ever played?
Favorite show we ever played? I think that there was the first show that we played at Lucky 13 Saloon in Brooklyn. Just comes to mind. I think that show, I think it was probably July of 19 or August of 19. I can't remember. But that was like the first night where I really felt like things really came together for us. And like, I felt like we also had like a really interesting set that night. We opened up with Given Enough, then we went to play Exercise Forgiveness and Resurfaced, like two songs that we just never played in the set. They just seemed to flow really, really well. There was a great turnout. And just looking at videos from that set, I felt like there was some really, really good energy there. And we just came correct. The sound was great. It showed a lot of promise early on when we were really just kind of starting to get out the gate. We really had a good time at Amityville Music Hall. Shout out to Jules. She does a really nice job promoting shows for that venue and always takes care of the bands there. That was a really good show that we played in Long Island. Long Island's always kind of a difficult scene to crack. And then Richmond, we played in Richmond, and it was really cool being so far from home and having folks roll out wearing court order shirts and having that support there, and having that community really embrace us. So those are some. I know you asked for one, but I
Yeah.
gave you a couple there.
Do you like playing the Meat Locker?
Yeah, man. I mean, the Meat Locker, man, that's a legendary space. Some of I mean, if we talk legendary gigs too, we've played there, very late on a Sunday night, like inching in on Monday morning, and we've had, a really good turnouts in that cellar down there. But yeah, hopefully we get an opportunity to get back down there. We really enjoy that place, and kind of an interesting little basement, but definitely always have a good night and a good turnout at the Meat Locker. Do you know if they're doing shows there? I mean, is it like back yet? I haven't seen anything announced yet.
I haven't seen anything yet, but I know now I can't think of the name of the place. It's in Montclair as well. They're having shows. I can't think of the name of the place. I don't know if Meat Lockers.
it survived the shutdown. I mean, I don't know what the overhead is for a place like that, but
Yeah, I'm not sure. But that was a good night.
yeah, no, definitely.
That
We've
was a
never
good
had a
night.
dud at the never had a dud at the Meat Locker. Always a good time. Always really late too.
So at this time, I'm going to actually switch it around. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen a band do in one of your interviews?
I don't think I've had anything yet.
Oh, so like nobody like stood up and like flashed you? Not saying
No,
that I'm gonna. I'm just
no, I haven't witnessed that yet. No,
Oh, it's funny, man. Cool. Yeah. And
I mean,
what's been one of your most memorable interviews?
I actually, well, I love all of them, but I was with Stillwell.
Okay.
That
Cool.
is Fieldy's second band.
Yeah.
So I got to speak to Fieldy from Korn.
That's pretty rad.
That's one of the most memorable. I mean, they're all memorable, but that's the one that, unfortunately fanboyed out a little bit, but it's
No
gonna
doubt.
happen. It's gonna
Yeah,
happen. One of your idols you're talking to, it's gonna happen.
for sure. And what records are you really looking forward to? What right now, if you could name your like top 3 records of the year, what comes to mind?
Well, I'm looking forward to a lot. I'm looking forward to more from Dying Oath. I'm looking forward to more by Scars Remain. I mean, and definitely you guys, but there's too many bands right now that I'm like, I'm waiting for everything to be open up fully so I can travel and go see them in person.
Yeah, I hear you. It's getting there, man. It's getting there.
Like I
What's
left
your what's your album of the year?
album of the year. I don't think I have one. Like
Oh, really? There's
yeah,
a
I
lot
don't
of
have
really a lot of really
this.
good stuff came out this year. The new Dying Wish was great. Frontier was really good. I personally really love the new Death Heaven record. That one really blew me away. And then the new Every Time I Die record, I didn't expect it to be as strong as it was. Radical. It's definitely a ripper. So check those records out for sure.
So why did you choose drums over playing the guitar? Or you felt you were better at drums?
Well, I never really. I started playing the bass when I was a kid, but then I just never really had like never really got too into just like holding the chords back there. I don't know. I just kind of gravitated more to the kit, you know. And also too, I feel like it's a necessary part that most bands need, and I just felt like I was able to take care of that. So like I was able to always find guitar players, but drummers were super rare. So it was a lot easier for me to be move forward in being in a band. And for me personally too, like I don't really get much pleasure out of just sitting in a room and playing the drums endlessly. Like that's not really what I like to do. Ever since I have been playing the drums, I've always played with a guitar player. For me, being in a band is what I enjoy, not just necessarily the instrument. Like drums are not probably the most social drum instrument, right? Like nobody really wants to hear them on their own. I mean, not saying if you do, that's great, but like if I'm playing the drums, like at some point you're going to want, it's not the piano. You're going to want that person to cut it out, right? But in a band, it's definitely something that resonates. And that's what my passion is, you know, really playing with like a collective and getting folks together in a room and piecing that together and being that groove behind it. So this is something that, just kind of become a part of my identity as I've grown. Sometimes people say things are phases or whatever, but I've been playing since I was, for 24 years. I've been playing the drums. At this point, it's just become a part of me, and a part of my personality. So, no different than any other natural thing that I do. To me, playing the drums is, I don't know, putting gas in the tank.
When was the first time you ever been noticed for Court Order, fan wise?
Well, I think we were at Hellhound, which, shout out to Eddie and Jerry at Mercury. When we just kind of had a couple shows, and I don't know, they went really well. But someone with JJ and I were talking out by the car, and someone just walked by and was like, "Yo, Court Order." And I looked at JJ. I was like, "You know who that is?" And he's like, "I have no idea." So that felt kind of cool. I think that was probably the first time, and it was also not at a show, right? Um, so that's something that was cool. Is just kind of in public to get that acknowledgement was pretty rad. So it always kind of catches us off guard when that happens. So it's pretty cool.
You ever have bad fan moments?
No, man. I mean, not yet that I can really think of. Anyone that comes up to us, it's always interesting to me when somebody gives us like to sign their vinyl, or like we had someone come up to us and like give us like a notebook that they had with like our stickers in it and wanted us to sign them. And that's the kind of stuff that always really surprises me. And it's really cool to have our message resonate with anyone at all. It's sometimes we wonder if anyone's listening, and then you kind of get out of your element when those kinds of things happen. And obviously we do this for the love of the game. Again, Court Order is like something that we would do regardless. It's something that calls us to a higher purpose, and gives us something to focus on and be creative. But it's also nice to kind of get that affirmation from the community, and they hear what we're doing, and they reciprocate it. And it's always something that really moves me, at least personally, to have it resonate with anyone. It's just an honor.
So how is it? You said you're in Queens right now. Are you still on lockdown, or how is that?
Oh no, I mean, things have pretty much opened up everywhere here. I mean, there's shows happening in the boroughs. Um, most restaurants. I mean, majority of everything here in the city is asking you to showcase your Vax card, which they've kind of been talking about for a while. If you're going out to dinner, I mean, even went to Chipotle the other night, and the lady on the tortilla asked me to show her the card. That poor thing. So they've been tasked with a lot. But no, I go out of the house. We've been playing shows. Um, so that's been pretty cool to kind of start seeing things get back to normal. I mean, everybody here, at least where I live, you still see a pretty heavy, uh, mask presence, in most stores and stuff, and in my building. So no, it seems like it's changed a lot. I mean, I was in the city when things were in the thick of it between March of last year, so I can tell you that it's definitely night and day since then, for sure. People have kind of come out of that shell a little bit, so it feels good. It's definitely a big change.
When everything started, did that help you write more music? Like that time to just couldn't do anything?
Well, I mean, last year was really interesting, man. I mean, we were kind of on this trajectory. and then all the shows got canceled, and we were waiting to play Starland Ballroom was the last
Yep.
gig in April of last year, and then so that kind of took the wind from under us. And we also had an album that was coming out that we recorded in February of 20, and so we just kind of kept on pushing forward, and we filmed a video for Poor Excuse, released the single. It did really well for us, and we focused on what we could control, which was our marketing, promoting ourselves digitally, doing merch contests on our social media. So we were still kind of getting our stuff out there. And then we went back into the studio and recorded Split Between a Dream and a Failure that we released in February of this year and put it out on Blood Blast. So we did that in August. And then we went back into kind of writing mode. We didn't really know how long this was going to go on for, and we started to write the album that we're planning on releasing, next year. So we did 10 songs, and I think that we just kept on doing what we could. That's be a band, right? So we're all very lucky, and I feel like we're very fortunate that we have the opportunity to play shows again. But at the time, it was just kind of cool to have something to focus on. Like, the band is a group chat that I get to be in and throw ideas around and talk about the community and be creatively constructive. And I feel very fortunate to have a group of guys to kind of reciprocate that with. And it kept us talking. We kind of keep politics and all this other stuff out of the creative space. Sometimes it's unavoidable, right, with mandates and what they're telling bands that they can or can't do, and depends on where you're playing. But when things got really bad, I think we just focused on what we could control. And that was playing music. For a while, we didn't know. I mean, we filmed like a quarantine set right when like things were locking down, and we didn't know if the studio was ever going to reopen. Like you know what I mean? Like at the time, there were so many unknowns. We didn't know if we'd be able to get together or whatever. And now we've obviously learned a lot more about COVID and how we can engage with each other. And now obviously with the vaccines. And so a lot has changed in that landscape. But we definitely didn't just like cower. We kept a close touch. I moved to Florida for a little bit, from October to April of this year. So I was, coming up here, for like a week at a time, and going to band practice, and, we'd go back, and we just kind of tried to keep going on. And now it's nice to really be active again and get shows and try and network again. And it feels like some version of what we remember to be normal, right? But I feel like it's slowly coming back together for sure.
Do you guys ever think about doing cover songs?
I think this is something that we've always argued about. Like, what song do we do? I personally always wanted to incorporate 311's Down is a song that I always wanted to incorporate. And then also some songs off of Stone Temple Pilots' Core. Like I'd love to cover Wicked Garden, but to get the guys to vote on a song that we're going to cover is like an act of Congress. So hopefully we get one at some point. And it didn't be a detriment if that was like our hit, like Orgies Blue Monday.
Yeah.
That would just be go against everything we've strived to do. So
I just can't see JJ doing 311.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their own twist on it, So if I've ever thought of doing a cover, it was probably my top two for sure.
So I know you've seen this meme going around or whatever. What is a female song that you sing full chested?
I don't know if I saw this meme.
There's a meme going around, a female song that you would sing full chested.
I don't know if I know it. Let me see it.
It's pretty much any female song that no matter where you are, if it comes on, you'll sing it.
What song would that be? I really like Rihanna's Cheers. That would be my female song.
Okay.
Cheers to the freaking weekend, man. Cheers to that. Yeah, yeah.
That'd be great.
I drink to that.
Okay, at this time, I'm going to let you go, but you want to promote where we can follow you and where we can grab your merch?
Yeah, killer, man. Thank you. So again, appreciate the time and all the work that you're doing and getting in front of bands, and you're doing the man's work. So really appreciate everything you're doing for the scene. You could follow Court Order at Court Order HC everywhere on Facebook and Instagram, Court Order 1 on Twitter, and then all our merch, courtorder.bigcartel.com. So we just put up a bunch of stuff up there from all the shows. So we were kind of trying to keep that exclusive to all the shows that we were playing, but recently just put it up there. So everything's available now at courtorder.bigcartel.com. If you like something, pick something up. And then, yeah, we got a new album coming out in 22. You know, I just don't think that we're going to release it in the next 10 weeks between now and the end of December. So be on the lookout for that. And hopefully we're looking to get out to more markets. So again, follow us at Court Order HC. And thanks again. Really appreciate the time you took to get connected tonight and hearing me out and your interest in Court Order. So really appreciate the support.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Awesome. We'll talk soon.
Talk soon.